You are now listening to Cyber Timebite, hosted by me, Stephen Clark. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Hey there, everybody. This is my second time recording this episode because I screwed up the first time. But yeah, needless of that, this is episode 134 of Cyber Timebite. That's a lot, obviously. Anyway, for this episode, I have someone on who is really awesome, really cool, knows their crap when it comes to making merchandise, like my own merchandise that I didn't make myself. I mean, I made the design. I made how it looks. Someone else drew how it looks, but I made how it initially looks. And okay, anyway, this isn't about my merchandise. Pretty much, this person makes merchandise for their own job, and I haven't seen it before, but I'm pretty sure it's amazing. We'll figure everything out today. Today I am with Char.
Hi there. Yeah, this is actually my first time ever being interviewed for a podcast. So that's exciting. It's really great to be here. 134 episodes in. Wow.
Yeah, I saw your stuff on Facebook and I was just like, this needs to happen.
My chaotic energy, I guess.
Yeah,
really vibed with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know when you can feel the connection when you see Homestuck and just like, I can just see, like I can just see things going down. Anyway.
Oh, I know.
So yeah, I mean, like, I know that when we were trying to do this the first time, you were starting to talk about your cosplay story. I mean, I'm sure you're okay telling the whole thing, but like, yeah, just tell them the whole thing. Just start from the top and,
All right, yeah, if I start from the top, basically, I just moved to a new middle school from one where I just gotten bullied. I had no friends, and I complimented this girl on her bag, and she turns to me and she says, "Oh, you like Hitalia?" And I said yes, because I wanted friends.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what Hitalia was at the time, or what I was getting into. But then that night I went home and I looked it all up. And later on in that school year, we went to a Japanese festival, all of us. And getting into cosplay, that was really difficult choosing who of the anime to cosplay, because there are so many characters. It's essentially an anime with personifications of countries. It's a pretty old anime. The fandom is essentially dead. And I cosplayed Canada. Yeah. And the funniest joke was always like, who's Canada? They always forget about Canada. It's always about America. And I cosplayed Canada. One of my friends made my jacket, and then I just got some like green pants and boots and stuff from like the Goodwill. But we ordered the wig online, and the wig didn't get here in time for a cosplay contest I had entered with that cosplay. So I ended up making a huge Minecraft head of this anime character, and that was my first cosplay.
That's a lot better than my story. This podcast is supposed to be all about you, and I told my story probably 1,000 times over on this podcast of how I started and all that stuff, but pretty much Reader's Digest version. Adventure Time fan tried to be Marshall Lee. It sucked. Didn't work. And moved on to other things. There we go. That's the Reader's Digest version, so I don't have to reset the whole story.
I mean, that works. If your listeners know what happened, then that's a good recap.
That's the recap of all recaps. There you go.
No, I didn't get to wear that cosplay very often though, because it was 4 layers of clothing and a giant head. I did end up winning a cosplay contest with it. I won two tickets to Phoenix Comic Con, which is now Phoenix Fan Fusion, for those who might be listening and might be in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
My second cosplay, though, which was it was more comfortable, it was definitely a comfort cosplay. I was just, I had a bunch of black fabric and some yellow fabric and some hot glue, and I cosplayed like a Vocaloid crossover of Pokemon, and I was Umbreon.
Because you wanted to be the very best that no one ever was?
Yes.
And do you still want to?
I got a lot of positive feedback from that, even though it was just yellow circles, hot glued to like shorts and on like the Vocaloid arm sleeves, and I had a big tail and like a top hat with ears attached to it. It was really interesting, and everyone liked it because I wasn't over sexualizing a Pokemon. I mean, I couldn't. I was only like 13.
Why wouldn't you anyway?
Right? I mean, there's some people out there, but that's not for me.
I mean, do you still want to be the very best that no one ever was?
In some aspects, yes.
I want to be the very best that no one ever was. TV meaning. Okay, if I start singing the whole thing, I'm going to start singing the whole thing, and I'm not going to do that.
I've revamped that cosplay several times with a lot of different Tail remakes.
Mm-hmm.
The Umbreon cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
But I did stop wearing the Canada cosplay just because it was getting to be too much.
Well, in that heat that you live in, that layers just...
Yeah, no, Phoenix Fan Fusion or Phoenix Comic Con, it is a summer convention. It takes place in May and June. So yeah, wearing 4 layers of long sleeves in 120 degree weather. I did pass out in a vendor hall at one point.
No, I hear that I think it is in Phoenix, but I think I heard that they have a McDonald's that's like a turquoise or some kind of blue color because they didn't want it to be yellow because it matched too much to the surroundings.
They actually wanted it to be turquoise to keep the aesthetic flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want it to be yellow because it didn't look right with the surrounding area.
Yeah, that's Phoenix,
not
right?
Not blending in, but they just didn't want it because turquoise is really popular here
mm-hmm.
with the Native Americans.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, don't do yellow, do turquoise. It'll match better."
Yeah, like your like I said earlier, like your Kachina wearing beehives, the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's not a hint of turquoise on any of their jerseys, but anyway.
No, I think the majority of our sports teams are red, which is kind of funny. Sedona's red, sure, but nothing. I don't think anything else in our state would correlate with red.
No, do you know what's so freaking weird though? Is that your team they have a modern day logo. It looks like it's a howling coyote. That's the logo. Now. But they did this crazy thing that now that their old jersey, the one from back in the day, is now their current home jersey, and your guys' current jersey, well, it's supposed to be your current jersey, now became your away jersey.
A lot of things in our state, like I was talking about the Phoenix Comic Con, Phoenix Fan Fusion, they're very indecisive about what they want to do, what they want to be named, and what they want to look like.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to go on that little rant because like I noticed that like you're like I just noticed that and I had to bring it up. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Like even me, personally, I have pink and blue hair. Mostly because I couldn't decide between the two. I've got Arizona in my blood when it comes to indecisiveness.
I mean, like, do you like the pink and blue thing like that, or was it just like, or was that just something where you couldn't decide and you just wanted it that way?
Well, I had pink for about 7 years. And then I wanted to change it up, and I did blue because I cosplayed Shinx for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a human punk Shinx. And after that, I was like, oh, I want to go back to pink, but I still like the blue. So I decided to go with the half and half hair trend, which is was popular at the time, and I've had it for about a year now, with the half and half pink and blue.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I had this idea back in 2012 when I was still in, yeah, that really ages me, when I was in high school.
Oof.
and and I had this idea, like, this was like tail end. This was like my senior year. I had this idea where I was gonna spike up the front, like the very front of my hair. I was gonna spike it up and I was gonna color it green.
Did you?
No, because my job wouldn't let me.
Yeah. I was like a platinum blonde for a couple years because my adult job wouldn't let me have colored hair.
I mean, and a lot of people, and I tell a lot of people about it. Say, why don't you do it? Just they tell me just to do it, and I tell them like, I don't know, I don't feel like, I don't know, these days, I don't know, I'm too lazy to do it, and my hair is curly, so I mean, that's another thing, and it's just,
Every time I go to touch up my hair, I think about I'm getting old. I'm getting old stuff, but you can tell they're aged, and it doesn't vibe anymore. I don't know if it's just me, getting the how 12-year-olds are just, I'm too old for toys, but it's like, am I getting too old for nerd stuff?
mm-hmm.
I'm not even that old.
I mean, like, I'm 27 and I'm still in the Homestuck. And I'm still into all this nerdy things, and I'm still into all this crazy stuff, and I'm 27 freaking years old,
Yeah, no. Made the not very smart decision tonight. I bought 3 new pop figures because we got them in at my job. Yeah.
Wait, pop figures at your job? I thought you worked at, like...
Yeah, like fun.
Yeah, but
I work at Walmart, so we get in Funko Pop figures.
No, wait, so you work at a circus and Walmart?
Yes. Before the pandemic, we did actual shows and things for the circus. I currently still do designs for the Gaslight Circus, which is a local circus here in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a round of like buttons because I got a button maker. Because I do also have like a small business and like a whole social media that's my own personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did some. I had a manufacturer do some patches for us with the logo, but it was mostly buttons, pins. We do have a heat press so we can make shirts and things. But my day job is just Walmart. I work at Walmart.
The circus doesn't pay you?
No, we get paid. We all get paid. The performers get paid. I get paid. At the end of the day, everyone gets their fair cut, and that's what's important.
So when you mean by like is this like a legit circus, like animals and all, or is this?
No, we are completely against the circus stereotype that they have animals. Because of all the negativity going towards circuses that do have animals because of the abuse, like they displayed in Tim Burton's Dumbo,
mm-hmm.
and like most things like that. It's like we don't have any animals. We just have some people that act like them sometimes.
So you guys are more like acrobatics and in tricks and all that stuff?
Yes, yes. We have several really great performers, including my significant other, my partner. He's a clown and he does fire performances.
He's a clown. He must be goofy then.
Oh, he's very goofy. He's really agile too, which makes for a really great show. The circus, based on a negative experience at a fall festival one year when I was in elementary school.
So that's really cool. So you personally like them because you work with them, but like, what do you think of other people that are like? I'm guessing you're just gonna say it just is what it is, or whatever when it comes to people's fear on them.
Well, I feel like everyone's allowed to have their own fears of things, but it's more they need to get to know the person in the paint, because our clowns they're performers, they're good people, they're real people. So people, they're scared of the performance, or they're scared of the character. They could just be scared of the paint. Things like the Stephen King's It don't really do a really good depiction of clowns, I think. Because like killer clowns, they're depicting something that's supposed to be happy and wholesome is scary, and it really ruins when we're trying to put on a good show.
Yeah, I'm surprised all clown performers don't go after Stephen King and be like, "Hey, you're ruining our record, man."
Well, there are quite a few that I know of, and there's quite a few of people that are actually out. They don't like Stephen King just because of that, and it's kind of hilarious, but not in that kind of way. Like, it's a serious issue, when you put on your clown paint, and you've got to, like, stop at the store for something before a show, and then there's somebody with a shotgun going, get the heck out of my store before I call the police just because you're wearing clown paint.
That's nuts, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, and when people get, like, violent against it, that's when you wonder what's gonna happen. You gotta keep to yourself and keep making people happy. That the people that actually they enjoy it and they're not afraid.
So like I never seen the merch for this thing that you make the merch for. So like what does it look like? Even though the people back at home who are listening to this won't be able to see it, can you at least show me what it looks like?
Well, our main logo is red and orange and yellow and white, and it says the Gaslight Circus with a nice traditional like what you could describe as like a merry-go-round font, and it's like a circle behind it. Mm-hmm. I'm not very good at describing things. That's our main logo, and some of the patches that I had made for main cast and crew.
Oh, I mean, like, do you guys have like an online shop, or you guys sell this online for people who don't live in the area who still want your merch, or is it home?
We've dabbled in the idea of an online shop. Right now we're trying to get during the pandemic, we're just kind of trying to make sure to keep circus alive with Jiro Keenom is the owner of the Gaslight Circus, and he's got a podcast talking about modern day like circus, like what's going on, and a little bit of that. Do you mind if I share the title of that, or?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, it's Cutting Up Jackpots. That's the name of the podcast if anyone's interested. We do have a website, just thegaslightcircus.com. You could probably just Google it.
Mm-hmm. And
we do have a Facebook page, The Gaslight Circus, which is where we've been trying to debut. We just put out our first video of Gaslight TV, or GLC TV. I like to call it. We're still working on some potential logo designs for that. So that's kind of what we've been up to during the pandemic, because we can't really do any in-person shows, of course, if everyone wants to stay safe.
Well, you guys are really missing out on the opportunity to get money in sales by selling the merch online. I'm sure there's people who has been to your guys' shows, or people who are wondering on the internet about your shows, who are.
Oh yeah, no, we just haven't gotten a chance to really get all the way in there yet and set everything up. We're still, like I said, we're still setting certain stuff up, building up, I guess, the fan base to really have a reason to put out our merch, because it was usually just shows exclusive pins, buttons, and T-shirts and stickers. But it would be like you buy it at the show. But we know that a lot of circuses have been doing live stream shows and drive-in shows. We don't really have anywhere to do anything like that though, so we've just been making of like clips of everyone doing different performances, and I don't know, it's been really fun so far for the filming process.
Do you take commissions?
Me personally, as an artist?
Yeah,
I do digital commissions, traditional commissions, and I just got into doing physical commissions for cosplay horns and character badges.
Because I was gonna ask, like, do you think, and this is for everyone to hear, do you think you can make an official like crossover shirt with my podcast and the merch of that Gaslight thing, like just for like limited run thing? Like that'd be like so freaking cool.
I can't really answer that, just to be sure. I can't say yes or no because I'd have to talk to Jiro about it. He's, like I said, he's the boss man. Whatever decisions there are, if he wants me to drop a design, because it's his brand. Mm-hmm. I'm just the I guess
the
I'm
artist.
Just the artist, yeah. If he gives me the go ahead, then I will absolutely see what I can do about getting some sort of collaboration going on. But unfortunately, if he says no, because we've got other projects right now that we're trying to work on, then I have to respect his wishes.
I know, but I'm not saying like make it and sell it to everyone. Like, but I'm saying like if I like asked you to make it and just make it just personally for me, so I can wear it around. Unless you gotta ask him anyway because it's his logo and crap. But
yeah, I'd still have to ask him because it's his logo.
I mean, don't take Charlie. He's probably gonna say no anyway because he doesn't know who I am, and my podcast is not even like I'm not Joe Rogan or anything, so it's not like he's gonna know who I am. But you know.
I mean though he is also a fellow podcaster, so he might be down for it. I don't know.
I mean, sure.
There's no harm in me asking at some point after this interview.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can ask if you want. I mean, I don't care. I mean, it'd be cool if he said yes, but if he doesn't say yes, then I respect that. But it'd be cool. Yeah,
I think it would be cool to have a crossover. Just kind of put our foot in a different door, going towards the cosplay and more convention. Because this last year before the pandemic was like a huge thing. We were actually gonna do some shows at Phoenix Fan Fusion, as the Gaslight Circus.
Can you imagine if you guys are trying to be hip with it and you guys just come busting out of the back and be like yeah, we're here, man, yeah.
Well, We've done things at the Phoenix Fan Fusion before, like not as Gaslight Circus, but we had like a whole contract and everything. But we were gonna do some stuff for them, and it did roll over to this year. So hopefully, if the pandemic hasn't put a halt on that convention for safety reasons, we might still get to do that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool because you see, I should bring this up. I do another podcast called "In the Serpent's Pit with Serpent's Breakdown," and we did a two-part episode on the circus itself, and I expressed my opinion about the circus in general, and I respect it for what it is because it's it's a form of entertainment that still runs to this day. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys look up. I'm pretty sure you guys look up the. But on our subject, I mean, no, I mean, we obviously for the past 28 minutes, it's not about your circus life, but but outside circus life and outside Walmart, we don't even have to talk about Walmart. We know how that is. But and I'm saying YouTube, we know how that is. Anyway, how what other hobbies do you like outside cosplay? Are you a gamer? Do you like what do you do? Like what makes Char when you're not working?
Well, when I'm not working, I'm usually working. When I'm not working, I'm usually working. That's about it. I draw. I do digital art. I mostly I work up new designs for my small business. I do games sometimes. I'm not really huge into it, like my partner is. I've got a 3DS and a Nintendo Switch, and I only vaguely know how to use them. Wow, I guess I don't really do that much.
I mean, do you read? Do you like reading?
I do. I do read. Yeah. I'll just collect graphic novels. I have a wide collection of manga. Actual books, my collection's a bit smaller. And I really like art books. Give me art books. Give me what made like the movies Ratatouille or Home. Give me those. And those actually do help me with my own personal artwork as well.
I mean, no, that's really cool because, I mean, any book that's just pictures, it's gonna rule.
Well, it's like the breakdown of scenes and storyboards. I'm not very good at storyboarding or animation for that matter. So, when I get to look in my own pace at how other animators or other artists were able to bring this movie that was a phenomenal hit to life, yeah, I think it's amazing that this team of people is able to do something so wonderful.
Now, on the same subject, did your, I mean, I'm just gonna say, I'm pretty sure Char's not your real name, right?
Well, I'm working on making it my legal name. When I came out, I wouldn't say I'm trans, but I am definitely non-binary, and I prefer he/them pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom chose between my dead name, which I don't use anymore and I won't disclose here on the podcast, or Charmander, which is her favorite starter Pokemon because I was born in the 90s, and Pokemon was on the TV in the hospital bedroom when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
She chose the latter, and when I came out, I chose Charmander despite her.
Well, the only reason I said it's on the same subject is it because from the stuff that you read, that you chose that name?
Well, part of it, like she worked. My mom worked with Warner Bros. For a while. When I was really young, so I was pushed into the Pokemon crowd extremely early.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been into Pokemon since I was like 3. Old enough to hold a Pokemon in general. But when I found out later on in the years that she could have named me Charmander, I was a little ticked off. So I've actually been trying to save up to have my name legally changed. Just I hate my dead name or my legal name, and I only ever use it when I have to for legal reasons.
I mean, I mean, like, it's your like whole family like done something in entertainment, and so that's what made you get into the circus stuff because your bloodline just bleeds entertainment.
Well, my grandmother used to be not a mortician, but she worked in a funeral home. So she worked with corpses. My
Yeah.
mom has had an array of jobs. She's a single parent. But she did work. She worked for DreamWorks. She worked on like movies like Shrek. And she worked for Warner Brothers. So she worked on like the first Scooby-Doo movie, Pokemon, Harry Potter, stuff like that.
Like, wait, it's like what?
Advertising. It was in advertising. So I would get all the cool like merchandise. I had a very nice collection of merchandise back when I was little.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. You're
Yeah.
probably somewhere in the creds somewhere.
It is it's in storage. All my merchandising or all my merchandise from when she worked there is in a storage unit.
No, but I'm pretty sure if you were to watch those movies and look very closely at the creds, because they're very so tiny. Your mom's name is probably somewhere in there.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, I like to search through the credits in certain movies just in case. Just in case I'll see, someone with my last name or a relative or whatever. The reason I got into the circus thing was because my partner, he was a performer for the Gaslight Circus way before we got together.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of told them they do art, and one thing led to another, and I became the circus artist.
Just because of that, but it's also because the entertainment business is just bleeding through you because you have family that's in it.
I mean, it seems that way, The entertainment, it's a wide variety of things. So I guess maybe it was fate. I did have a tarot reading last month regarding love, and it did set my partner as my true love. I don't know if it was on purpose or it was completely random, but that's gotta be a sign, right?
Yeah, I mean, I never did tarot reading. I don't think I ever want to, but it's
they're eerily accurate, and it's kind of nice having that set in the cards that it's meant to be.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is that you said earlier that you've been to a lot of places. So are you saying that but you had traveled all over this country?
It's not more like traveling. It's my mom couldn't decide where she wanted to stay. So I was conceived in California,
Mm-hmm.
but I was born in Arizona. And then as a baby they moved me to Oregon, and we moved back to California, Arizona, Texas, Missouri, Louisiana. We went through Hurricane Katrina. That I remember learning to spell Mississippi while our Greyhound bus was going over the Mississippi River.
Wait, so have you ever been to like Illinois?
No, I've never been to Illinois.
Well, let me tell you, Illinois is something.
Yeah, no, we were I think in 2014 my mom was like, "Okay, we're moving to Seattle. We're moving up there." And I was like, "Well, all right, I guess that's life." And then we ended up not moving. And then we've been in Arizona for about 11 years.
So, like, have you felt bad that... I mean, well, I'm pretty sure when you lived in all those other places, you made friends and you felt bad that you had to tell all of them, like, oh, I'm moving out of state again.
Kind of, yeah. Like, I've never had a friend for more than, like, 5 or 6 years because of that. But a lot of times, I don't remember a lot of my old friends. Like, I every now and then I'll try and like remember their names, cause and then I'll look them up and be like, oh, is that the right person? I don't know. And then move on. But I never really stayed in contact with any of my old friends from any of the other states I lived in.
Yeah, for me, I lived in the same state my whole life. I moved out. I moved obviously. I moved obviously to different towns in the state I lived in, but I never was like you and was like it was like, oh, I was born here, but then I was living here, and then I came back. Like
Oh yeah, no. You gotta look at the amount of schools I went to and go, what the heck? I think I went to about 5 or 6 different middle schools. And about the same number of elementary schools, but I only went to one high school. Because that was towards the end of our moving shenanigans.
That's crazy.
It was not very pleasant, I have to admit. But like it was mostly I think I became also like a pseudo hoarder, especially of cosplay stuff and fandom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because with every move we would lose things. Or I would lose things. And I guess as an adult I was like, okay, I'm not getting rid of anything else.
No, because for me, it was weird. When I moved in 2005, when I moved from the apartment I was living in to the house I used to live in before I lived in the one I live in now. Here's the crazy thing. So in the town when I was living in the apartment, we moved at the time when I was supposed to be jumping from elementary school to junior high, because where I lived, 7th grade was in the no 6th grade was in junior high, and then where I was moving to, the 6th grade last grade in elementary school, and then junior high was 7th and 8th grade, and so
I have a similar experience to that. For a while we lived in Missouri, right?
Mm-hmm.
We lived in a town, population 305.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, like 305 people.
That's small.
Yeah. And I went to a school that was K through 12. So like kindergarten all the way up till like senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And the school system in Missouri is a little bit different. They don't teach you multiplication until 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in summer school when we moved from Missouri to Arizona for like the 3rd time. Arizona's always been like our home base. I was held back. I was in like summer school going to 4th grade, so 3rd grade summer school, getting ready for 4th grade. Small town things. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And when we moved, it was just about to be the middle of the next school year in Arizona. And they held me back, so I had to retake 3rd grade because I hadn't learned multiplication yet, and all the other kids already knew what it was. And I was sitting there, and they had us do like a times table test, and one of them was like 0 times whatever, and I'm like, what the heck is 0? What is 0 times like 4? Like, what is that? And the kid next to me looked at me and was like, really? It's just 0. I hadn't learned that yet.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't like, no, for me, I wasn't held back. It was just how it was. And you know, I mean, like, that's just how the system was for where I moved to. So I did, well, everyone back in where I so for the class I graduated with from elementary school, went to junior high, I was stuck in elementary school for 1 more year in my new town, and then by the 7th grade, then I finally went to junior high. And then that was an experience.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great when you get stuck with a group of kids you're not really you don't really know. Not really like in a new student kind of way, but like in a, I need to be with the rest of my peers, not in this, it doesn't seem like it's the right spot.
Yeah, and on top of that, and then after I graduated junior high, I ended up going to the high school. I mean, I didn't go to the high school I was supposed to go to. I went to the high school in the next town over because of how do I explain this? I mean, I don't really mind talking about it. I mean, yeah, I'll just say it. I was born with Asperger's, and so because of that, I had to go to a different high school, which is the next town over from the town I lived in. And the program at the high school that I was supposed to go to wasn't as good as as good as it was at the high school I went to, and so I was stuck in a room, literally, like one room for every class besides gym, for like the first 2 years of high school, and then my junior year, I broke out of that one room and I started going around, and and then between that I did summer school because I just did, and in the last 2 summer schools I did were doing my work program thing, which the work program thing was basically where they had a set number of businesses, and we were supposed to just, act like we were just working for them under the program. And so I worked at places like IKEA and Nordstrom Rack, and I was room service at one point in a hotel. That was interesting. And I mean, like, I did that, and that was me basically in high school. I was stuck in a room for 2 years, and then I finally broke free, and then I got pushed into the workforce early, and that's me in high school.
Yeah, the year, I guess seventh grade, right before 8th grade, right before we moved again from Texas back to Arizona.
Yeah.
I went to a science academy.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was younger, if I ever expressed interest in something, my mom would full force go into, oh, you want science? Let's get you into a science academy. Or, oh, you're into drawing? Let's get you into fine arts and art history. When all I wanted to do was like draw cartoons or whatever, like I do now.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone there was like the top, most prestigious of children. It did not feel great. Like, I took Japanese in 6th grade as a weeaboo, and then in 7th grade at the Science Academy, I was taking Turkish. That's a language that most schools don't even offer.
And
it wasn't really that pleasant and it was like a K through 8, I think, school.
You went through, no, from the sound of it, you went through a lot of schooling.
Oh, yes.
And I'm sorry.
Well, I went through a lot of schooling, and then so I would have, like I said, fine arts or like more like advanced science and like honors math and all this stuff, and it's like I wasn't really into all of it. I wanted to draw cartoons, and I definitely experienced the being smart enough to not need to study, and then finally when being told to study, it's like, what do? And then the depression hit, and it all crashed and burned senior year of high school.
Well, I mean, like, but eventually, but like, you graduated, and you graduated with all this knowledge from like 500 different schools.
I didn't graduate high school. I dropped out because of my depression.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm working hard to get my GED, and I'm not gonna lie. Graduating hasn't hurt me yet as an adult, or not graduating hasn't hurt me yet as an adult. And only about 3% of people that go to college People who go to college only make about 3% more than people who don't. So I'm not missing out on much.
I think. No, I had one friend. Well, I don't know if we're still friends. I don't even know. But this one guy I knew from high school, literally one day just got up and walked out of school and never came back.
Just I didn't do that. I didn't walk out. It got to a point where I wasn't able to get out of bed. I wasn't able to do regular things because of my depression, and I started missing school. I would be like an hour or two late for school to the point where I would just not. I stopped going, and my mom said that I was old enough and that it was okay, and that I could get my GED later on, because it was just too much of a mental toll on me.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, she was really supportive about it, and she has never given me crap for it. Now that I think about it, she never gave me crap for not finishing high school. Because I'm successful. I work for a full-time job, and I am a successful artist. And that's where you go in life, you know?
That's kind of the dream, right?
Yeah, that's the dream. You know, you want to put your name out there somehow. I got my name out there 4 or 5 different ways. You know, and I do have a fairly large education, but it's not exactly what most people would consider book smart. I have a wide knowledge of like random trivia.
Here's the thing. We're at the 50-minute mark, almost an hour, and I wanted to end and I want to ask, maybe like probably the day after we're recording this, or sometime later this week or next week or whatever, we should do a part 2, and we can just continue on at a time that's earlier than like 2 a.m.
I'd really like that. I'm really glad you suggested. I'm glad that you enjoyed having me on to the point where you do want to do a part 2. I mean, but yeah, definitely at a time when it's not so late, because it is 1:30 in the morning here. And I'm assuming it's like what 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 almost for you.
Almost 2:30 where I live.
2:30. Because we've managed to get into quite a lot of topics, and we haven't even hit yet the convention boom that have kind of really brought my life to fruition.
Yeah, we didn't talk about conventions. We didn't talk about home stuff. There's a lot of things we didn't talk about yet.
We mostly just talked about I guess our past lives, real day adult things.
Yeah, we got a lot. We talked about a lot today, and there's still a lot to come. But yeah. I'm excited that you still want to keep talking about it. That makes me feel good. Yeah, I love doing this podcast. I love doing this podcast for all the many fans who like to listen, which if I have any, but I love letting people know about you, and hopefully people who listen to this will be like, that Char Van Camp, he seems pretty awesome. I wanna. That's really dating me, Borders. We were driving there, and ad comes on the radio for the Illinois Media School, which back then it was called Illinois Center for Broadcasting back when I went to it, but now it's called Illinois Media School, and that's a lot easier to say, so I'm just going to say that. But their advertisement came on the radio, and I heard it, and my mom said, maybe you should go there, that sounds pretty cool. I was like, yeah, maybe I should give that a try. Maybe I'll give it a try. So, we went there, I did my audition, which you had to do like a physical audition for them to accept you in. And so I did that, and they accepted me in, and I did that. I did that, and then after I graduated from there, I lazed around for a year, so I got my job. and then I started my first podcast, Adventure Time Guys, which I was just reviewing every single episode with a friend of mine, and we did do that. But then the train wheels fell off, and we just were just content wasn't making sense anymore because the show was over and we didn't know what else to do, so we ended it. I started this, and then on top of this, I started In the Serpent's Pit for a second one that I do, and boom, here we are.
That's a very long timeline, and I'm glad that it made it this far. That's pretty cool. I'm also pretty glad that we both had like moms to influence us into the right direction that put us where we are now.
Well, I mean, like both my parents are very, very supportive of. Like I wanted to do it, but like
See, but at least you had like a dream. Like I was like, I don't know, I like drawing, and then my mom kind of took that and was like, okay, we're gonna get you into fine arts and art history and this and that, and we're gonna learn about realism and surrealism and all this. And I was just here like, I like cartoons because I grew up with cartoons, so of course I was gonna like them.
Yeah, but I mean, like, wrestling isn't the dream now. That was like the dream, like, back when I was in high school. I mean, it would have been cool to do it now, but, like, now that I'm almost in my 30s, that, like, I mean, I know that there's some that get into it when they get older, like, into their 40s, because they want to, because they're
in their prime.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I've been so much in the podcasting game that, like, why stop it now?
Skyville, you just kind of grab it, like Andrew Hussey.
Like
throw an obscure idea out there, and then the internet takes it and is like, yes.
Like how's that song go? Oh yeah, life goes on. Anyway, let's drive this thing home. Thank you everyone for listening to episode 134 of Cyber Timebite. You can follow me on Facebook at Cyber Timebite. Follow me on Twitter at NostalgiaVamp. Buy all my merchandise on Redbubble.com under Crash Steven Gear, where you can buy all my Spork stuff, which I have my Spork t-shirt. I have my all my merchandise on there. You can get it on a mug, you can get it on a shirt, you can get it on a hoodie, you can get anything. Just whatever your little heart desires, they pretty sure they have it on there. I can't list off it because it's too much, but buy my merchandise. I would be glad if you do. And where can people find you and all that?
Well, I have a Instagram, which is just TechnoCat8. There is a story behind that. Hopefully I'll be able to get to that in part 2. My Tumblr, which is also Techno.
Yeah, I was just always in that moment. But oh man. Well, we're gonna do a part 2 of this. I'm not gonna edit the 2 parts just to be way too long. I'll upload this part and the second part on the same day, and then the week after this one uploads will be the next one after that. So it's not like 134 is going to be this one, and then like the second part is going to be 135. It's going to be 134, the continuation, or the second part. And if you
okay.
And if you prefer to listen to the second part, that's on you. If you don't, that's also on you. but it's going to be there if you'd like to listen to it. If you just want to listen to this part, go right ahead. I don't care. It's there for you to listen to. But they're both going to be uploaded on the same day. It's just going to be a continuation of this. And episode 135 would be a completely different episode. Anyway, I hope all of you guys have a fantastic day and Have a good one. Have a nice day. You know. You want to say bye?
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about my past.
Have a good one.
Yeah.